Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Aquatic Pack DLC Showcase miniseries for Planet Zoo. Today we're going to be adding in the king penguin, an animal that I absolutely adore. I find them adorable to watch. I find them fascinating in terms of their overall behaviors, in terms of their overall just mannerisms. They're a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to get them in, and I can also very happily say that the game actually does a very good job of representing most, if not all, of my favorite sort of behaviors among penguins, at least as far as I know. So I really enjoy what they look like and what they act like. So super excited for this session today, and for all the work beyond the time lapse as well. But for the time lapse itself, trying to build a maybe comparatively simple space. I think the otter experience was a bit of a slap on the wrist for me of like, okay, I should check myself before I wreck myself again. And on the topic of the otter experience, I actually come back here to make some modifications based on some feedback I got in the comments of the last session, but I touch on that after the time lapse, so we'll leave it for then. I just wanted to point out in case you were wondering what I was doing down there. But yeah, so we have experimented with a lot of the wilder things and the wilder theories. That doesn't mean I've stopped over here. You will notice this little like central bridge stage area, let's call it that for now, does have these like arches, if you will, made out of terrain. So hypothetically, you could have a path over top, and we're once again experimenting what we tried to experiment with the otters, which is, you know, will the animals swim underground or through, you know, short underground tunnels, if you will, or would they rather circle around the underground tunnel? You can see, by the way, on the topic of underground tunnels, this little stairway over here that leads to the underground tunnel for the seals, I am actually doubling that up to have a glass barrier at the bottom there, so guests can watch penguins as they, you know, swim about, and hopefully we'll be putting down a feeder over there, and hopefully we'll catch the penguins eating from that angle. Again, like, it just... Did I mention this last session? I might have mentioned it last session, I can't remember now, but this DLC is probably, this DLC and the update together, probably my favorite update to come to Planet Zoo since its release. So much new stuff, so much more, like so many elements added that you can re-explore old ideas now, in my humble opinion at least, so just absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it, and I obviously wanted to try and get a little bit of everything throughout these enclosures. Though I think we've experimented with all the weirdness that you can experiment with. I'll have to try and come up with something for the next one. Now, obviously, I want to mention, of course, folks, if you would like to see this continue, if you would like to see this approach in the future as well, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. It does make a very big difference in how I approach content on the channel. And I should also mention that if you're not already a subscriber and you've been watching some of this Planet Zoo work, or maybe you've kind of looked around, maybe you've seen the other Planet Zoo episodes on the channel as well from our franchise mode Let's Play. If you're not already a subscriber, you might be interested in subscribing. Just throwing it out there. We do a lot of Planet Zoo on the channel. We do a lot of management gaming, a lot of sim gaming, a lot of strategy gaming. That's kind of the MO around these parts, so don't hesitate to subscribe, I guess. But anyway, that sidebar aside, you can see I'm trying to sort of figure out how to execute my overall plan over here. So maybe I should talk about the aesthetic angle or the thematic angle that I'm going for here. That I will say, I was kind of surprised that there are no snow bricks. It's all ice bricks. I don't want to use ice. The ice, I don't quite like how the ice looks for what I'm going for here. It definitely has its place, but not for what I'm going for. So instead I end up using the South America DLC's temple blocks and painting them white to make them look like they are made of snow. Or at least they're a form of camouflage, I suppose. But the idea here is we're making a, you could call it a castle, I suppose. I didn't want to go ahead and do a whole construction episode and like build a complex building or anything like that. I feel like that's like focusing on the wrong elements. I don't want to have like, initially I was wondering, do I want to build the outer wall, an inner wall, a keep, and all that kind of stuff? And I was like, wait, we want to look at the animals, we want to look at how they interact with the spaces. If I have too many like rooftops and stuff, they'll mostly be hidden. So I decided not to go that far, but that is an idea that I might be keeping in reserve for our franchise mode playthrough. But obviously, I'm playing on the word king as far as the name of the animal is concerned, and so playing up the idea of a castle and setting up a little throne for it in the center as well. Hence the rather what should we call it? Rather strange, I suppose, focus point in the middle over there. It's like this little bridge that leads to the central area. That's where the throne's going to be. And I'm actually really pleased with how it ends up looking, considering the parts that I had to work with and the pieces that I had to work with. Another stone sculpture, something that I'm getting maybe, more and more familiar with, and more and more a fan of, actually, working with making stone sculptures in Planet Zoo. But yeah, you can see I'm just building the outer wall over here. Didn't overcomplicate it, because again, I am trying to prioritize, trying to like change my habits for these series and prioritize the animal and trying to make more sort of simple enclosures, which again is something I abandoned the concept of last session. So just trying to focus on the new elements and not so much the things I can play around with during our franchise mode. But yeah, so building these little wall sections over there. Now over here, I figured we don't need guests to be able to see from over here. We're going to have only the staff moving. And guests are going down these stairs, so there's no need. Even over here, I was thinking, oh, it'd be really cool to like build an entrance to the dungeon kind of a thing over there, because all the guests are going underground. So they're going underground to the dungeon. That's kind of like, anyway. I had a lot of plans, but I was like, I'm just being a little too extraneous. I think it's better to stay focused on what matters most. And of course, that doesn't mean we're going to abandon decorative elements completely. You can see me kind of flipping back and forth, adjusting terrain, adjusting the shape over here, fine-tuning the shape a little bit, and trying to get the penguins to have enough space. Now, the funny thing is, as I start putting down some of these blocks, and here's where what I was getting at is, like, we're not taking any shortcuts over here as far as still trying to push the game to its limits is concerned. I want to see if the penguins are able to navigate not just terrain, but of course these like rock pieces as well. So now, all the fun begins with laying that stuff out, and obviously that's not all we're going to do. We're going to be doing a lot more of that. But yeah, I mean, overall, the penguins. Well, here's the thing. So the space is massive, right? And in sort of classic PartyElite tradition, it is way bigger than the animals reasonably need. However, much to my surprise, as I find out later, you can actually have quite a few penguins in one enclosure. So the size of this enclosure ends up working out if the intent is to have a lot of penguins. And evidently, penguins are very social, and so it makes sense to have a big space with a lot of penguins rather than a small space with a couple of them. The end impact is the same from the guest's perspective, but I think from the animal's perspective, it makes a pretty big difference to just have more people to hang out with. In fact, its minimum adult population is 5, if I recall correctly, which is, it's not a small number. It is not a small number, and they can all pair off and breed, so you can very easily fill a space like this right up. So while a part of me was worried that I was making this a little too large, and while it certainly looks like it's a little too large, it's actually, I would say, a pretty good size, and we'll see it all get used up pretty nicely as well. Now here I'm building a little throne over here. I had a feeling that they would not be able to climb this throne, but I wanted to at least make it possible for them to try, and I wanted to make sure I had a nice kind of central view, and I of course wanted to make sure that if the penguins are able to climb the throne, they're looking outside when they do. But that aside, I decide to try and like square this area off a little bit, make it look like it, I don't know, took a hit from a trebuchet or something. I don't know, just a small break over there, nothing to take the wall down completely, but I wanted to make the adjustment in height a bit smoother. And over here, I figured like, okay, if these guys need maybe hard shelter on the ground, it wouldn't be a bad idea to build some of that for them. And I figured to stay on theme, we'd make like what would be perhaps like the stable area or something like that. And we end up doing some work with the terrain as well after the time lapse that makes it work a little bit better too. I also felt like it was nice to just break up the color a little bit over here. And then, of course, I wanted to build this up. And again, at this point, I was just like, oh, maybe I should do like a whole battle scene or something, like a battering ram and this, that, and the other thing. And then I was just like, okay, that was me starting the battering ram there with a log that I put down. I was like, no, why? What's my focus here? What's my angle of attack here? Do I want to spend 7 hours building a battering ram, or do I want to spend 7 hours hanging out with the animals and showcasing their behaviors? I mean, you let me know in the comments as well what you would have preferred and how you would prefer my approach. Again, throughout the 3 enclosures we've done so far, I've done them slightly differently in terms of complexity and over the topness, I suppose. But yeah, as I go around now, adding all the essentials, we're getting the food trays. We got the well, actually, I did not put down a food tray. I've got the underwater feeder, and I think I'm going to stick to that as the only option. I didn't want to put food trays down because I wanted to see what the keepers would do if there is no place to put food down on the ground. Now, the interesting thing is that penguin babies cannot swim, so you do need a food tray unless you want food just thrown on the ground. So something to consider, obviously, in sort of moving forward. And again, making a couple adjustments to this entrance area, well, to the staff entrance area, and just wondering, like, do I want to toy around with some of these penguin pieces and whatnot? But overall, pretty satisfied with the space. Going to make some minor adjustments to the terrain and to the back, if you will, just to make it feel a bit more, I don't know if natural is the right word, but I don't want to just put down a bunch of those, blocky snow stone pieces. Thought I'd work with the terrain instead a little bit and add a little bit of undulation back there. Maybe we'll blend that into our next enclosure that we work on, which, by the way, you should let me know what you would like to see next. But the last order of business over here is to establish the hard shelter. I thought it'd be really cool to have the throne actually have a roof above it. Makes it feel a bit more regal, perhaps, or a bit more sort of overdone, a bit more needlessly built up, which feels fitting for royalty. But as I finish this and as I leave a little gap, a little sunlight over here right above the throne, which I'm very pleased with, I'm just about to call it a time lapse over here, actually. So just as we finish these little crowning pieces off, it's over to regular speed. All right, folks, we are back from the time lapse with what will hopefully be a fairly interesting and functional space for our penguins. Now, a lot of the effect of this area will not sort of apply or take place or exist until we hit play and until those coolers kick in a gear, because there is a lot of course, snowy terrain over here that remains rocky until the coolers get activated. But what should be interesting as well is that our water temperature regulator over here is hopefully, is completely separate from this one. I didn't realize how far apart they were. It's completely separate from that one. It is currently overlapping this area, though, so we're going to go ahead and reduce its range a little bit, and it should stay in contact with this, and we'll probably want to drop the temperature over here. Now, you can't go below 0, obviously. Water below 0, that's, but we can drop the temperature. The question is, what is the ideal temperature for the penguin's water, and is it different from its, sort of ground or room temperature? Can you really call it room temperature? Atmospheric temperature, I suppose, is the right term. Anyway, we're going to find all that out right now as we dive on into Zoopedia and take a look at these king penguins. I'm sure I touched on the thinking behind this enclosure and how it ties into the king penguin name. But with that set aside, I'm thoroughly excited to finally see them in Planet Zoo, so let's not waste any more time. The king penguin, sorry. Aptenodytes patagonicus. Oh dear. The king penguin, or that, is a large species of marine bird that lives in the Southern Ocean and breeds on subantarctic islands, including the Falklands and South Georgia. King penguins have dark gray feathers on their backs and flippers, white feathers on their chests and stomachs, and yellow coloration on their throats, while their heads are black with bright orange cheek patches, as well as an orange streak along their beaks. Standing at between 28 inches and 40 inches tall, king penguins weigh an average of 19.8 pounds to 30.8 pounds and are the second largest species of penguin after the emperor penguin. The species is not endangered, but it is predicted that the king penguin population will decrease rapidly over the coming decades. This is due to climate change, which is likely to affect their prey species distribution around the islands on which they breed, and the warming of the ocean may change the path of ocean currents. Penguins also struggle with acquiring enough food in areas where commercial fishing is widespread. King penguins are not viewed as at risk due to their currently high population. There are charities that are proposing that marine reserves are established around the penguins' range and that commercial fishing is limited in these areas to keep the population thriving. Yeah, prevention, like, don't try to solve the problem, try to stop it from happening, right? We know very well how this story ends. Like, they're least concerned right now, but it's only a matter of, well, like the game says, decades before they start moving up that chain. Pretty interesting stuff over here. No distinguishing between males and females, so interesting. 4.5 million population in wild. I wonder what the distribution is like, because I mean, if we take a look at their natural habitat, you see, of course, they're spread out over here, but I wonder what, like, the density, not the distribution, but what the density is like. Anyway, we see their temperature requirements are -20 to 17 degrees, so they can... Oh, actually. Oh, that's surprising. Yeah, that's -20 to +17 degrees Celsius. That's actually not bad. Like, 17... I could live in 17 degrees. I didn't realize penguins are comfortable at such, what I, as a Torontonian, would call high temperatures. Interesting. We've got their land requirement again. We've probably given them... I mean, I hesitate to say this considering how the otter situation was, or how it went, but I think we've given them enough land. I think we've given them enough water and enough deep water as well, so hopefully we're okay there. But yes, Antarctica and South America. Actually, a wider spread than one might... Prince Edward Islands. Oh, it's got to be a different Prince Edward Island. Okay, I was like, what? That ain't right. All right, moving on to the species data over here. So the group size. What? Yo, seriously? That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. 6 to 500, up to 500 males, up to 500 females. The bachelors are also 6 to 500, 6 to 500. Yo, we're gonna have so much fun with these guys at Elite Zoo South in our franchise mode. I love... Well, I'm curious how easy they are to manage and take care of, and, you know, keep clean and all that kind of stuff. But that's awesome. Oh, they can have an absolutely massive space. That's the biggest number we've seen, I think. I'm fairly certain that's... I mean, again, I have a lot of the African animals still to explore, but I feel like that's the biggest number that there is. Dominance is none. Mating system is monogamous. Adorably so. A relation with humans is confident, and guests can enter the habitat. What do you know? We could have made this a walkthrough. I think I prefer it to not be a walkthrough. I would like it to be nice and chilly inside. But good to know for our franchise mode, obviously. A good thing to test as well, though, is guests can enter the habitat, but are they like flamingos where they freak out and they're very unhappy and upset, or is it not like that and guests can actually enter without upsetting the animal? There's a... Why? It doesn't normally scroll. Anyway, size is 34 inches tall across the board. 26 years is the life expectancy across the board. And weight... Okay, so males are a little bit heavier at 26.4, while females go on average to 23.1 pounds. Sexual maturity at 3 years, sterility at death, 1 offspring per mating event, 2-month gestation period, 12-month interbirth period, and reproduction is easy. Yo, baby penguins, don't even get me started. I cannot wait. I really hope we get one today. We might also get a baby otter, which we'll go back and look at because we didn't get to look at baby otters last session. Well, let's see. Social needs. King penguins are social animals, and when not foraging at sea, they live in extremely large colonies of many thousands of mated pairs. Well, that gives us an idea, I guess, of the density conversation. Reproduction. During September and November, king penguins will come ashore to molt and to mate. Males and females will attempt to attract a mate by calling before engaging in a courtship ritual where they will bow their heads to each other, stretch out their necks, and sway and rub their necks together. No mention of having to bring a gift rock or anything like that, a glowing green gift rock, no. After this ritual, the female will lie on her stomach on the ground and the male will mate with her. The penguins will then go back to sea for 3 weeks to forage, returning to the island to lay and care for eggs. Following the laying of the egg, the mother will incubate it on her feet covered by her brood pouch for 6 to 18 days before the male will take over the shift while the female goes to hunt.
They will keep this shift switching going for 55 days until the egg hatches. Now that's interesting. So what I learned as a child and just kind of took with me for, the entirety of my life up until this very moment was that they switch shifts, as the game puts it, once. Like the female takes care of the eggs at first, and then the male comes back, and then he takes care of the egg until it hatches. But apparently not. No, they keep swapping back and forth. I didn't know they kept swapping back and forth. So cool. Well, you learn something new every day. However, if one partner takes too long to relieve the other from the shift, the egg will be abandoned. The unborn chick will die very quickly if the egg touches the cold ground. That is quite sad to imagine. I wonder how often that happens. Because there are a couple of reasons why one partner might, quote unquote, take too long to relieve the other from the shift. After 55 days, the egg will begin to hatch, a process that may take 2 to 3 days, and the chick will remain in the brood pouch while the parents take alternating shifts of 3 to 7 days to care for the chick, which is very vulnerable to cold after just hatching. After 30 to 40 days, the chick will be large and strong enough to leave the brood pouch and move more independently. They begin to explore and will join other chicks in a creche? Creche? I assume that's like French-ish. In a creche that is watched over by several of the adults. By April, most chicks will be almost adult size, losing weight over the winter before gaining it back again in the spring. They will fledge in the summer. King penguins reach sexual maturity at 3 years old, but are unlikely to mate until they are between 5 to 6 years old. But why? There's no, is it just because they're not good at dancing and rubbing necks? Is that? I would love to know why. Because there have been explanations that have been given, like, oh, it's because they're not strong enough. But here they don't fight. It doesn't, it's not about fighting over females, or at least it doesn't mention fighting over females. It just talks about being more attractive, I suppose. A different kind of fight, if you will. Curious. Now, moving on, let's take a look at, research status. We know we have everything unlocked. In terms of their enrichment items, again, nothing... We've already kind of seen all of the new... underwater specific or aquatic specific things and a couple of older things. I would have liked to see some more variety, I'll be completely honest. I would have liked to see some more separation, I suppose. Everybody likes a rubber duck, everybody likes a platform float. I would like to see something unique to, one of the animals we've already done so far. And I don't mean the penguins have the mirror mobile, the others didn't. Right, but the mirror mobile is an old enrichment item already, so that's what I mean. Nonetheless, fun fact number 1. The deepest recorded dive of a king penguin is 1,131.9 feet, and the longest recorded time underwater is 9 minutes and 12 seconds. That is wild. Now, I wonder if they actually have to, what's it called? I forget the term for it. But if you ever go deep sea diving, on your way back up, you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful. You have to time yourself. You can only do so many feet, and then you have to kind of stay, and you do a handful of feet, or a handful, more than a handful, but 30 feet or something. It's not a lot. 30 feet or something, and you have to stop, and you have to keep doing that. I wonder if penguins have to deal with that as well. It's all about pressure. It's about pressure changes as you go higher and higher, or deeper and deeper into the water. I wonder if penguins have to deal with that. Yikes. The renal system of the king penguin is adapted so that they can drink and filter salt from seawater. Makes sense. Fun fact number 3, there is a king penguin at Edinburgh Zoo that is called Sir Nils Olav III and is the colonel-in-chief of the Norwegian King's Guard. No way. Are you kidding me? No way. That's amazing. Oh my god. That's the... Fun fact number 3 seems to always be the funnest fact. Well, let's not be too early to judge. Fun fact number 4, king penguins are monogamous, mating with only one partner each breeding season and caring for the chick together. However, only 30% of king penguins mate for life. What? That's another lie we've been fed since childhood. Penguins are often held up as this image of oh look, they get married and then they stay together forever. But apparently not. Apparently not at all. It's each breeding season. Yeah, what? What are these lies I've been fed? Man. Fun fact number 5. King penguins who do not breed successfully or who lose their eggs or chicks will attempt to steal chicks from other pairs. I have seen adorable, but also potentially, I guess, morbid videos of this kind of stuff going down. It's pretty cute. It's pretty cute. God, penguins are adorable. I love me some penguins. No interspecies benefits, but of course they might still be able to share space with other animals. I mean, I guess they. I wonder who else they require. I mean, I guess it's good that they don't require it to be negative, 20 at all times. Well, that's wild to me that they're not comfortable at like negative 40 and stuff. Like, we get negative 40 in Toronto, and Toronto is not that high up north. Toronto is, like, over here, Like, we get negative 40. You telling me penguins would rather it be warmer? That's wild to me. Anyway, enough looking at their information. Let's actually look at the animal itself. Go ahead to animal trading. Got to pick ourselves some fancy penguins. King penguins. Look for the K here. K is for king penguin. There we go. And let's just pick them all up, right? God knows we're not limited in any way, so adopt. Did this one say pet? It was a pet? Is it legal to have pet penguins anywhere? I mean, I guess the reason why they're available here is because it's not legal and they got repossessed, acquired, rescued. Go ahead. I love that this works now. Send to zoo. Bring them all over to habitat number 3. We're going to unpause. We're going to see, again, if they can navigate the space, if they can use the space, if they're able to jump over this little thing we've got for them, if they're able to swim under here, if they're able to climb on top of the little throne over here. I don't know. I have a feeling it'll be pretty blocked up. But I'm also excited to see just what this space looks like when all the snow sets in. So let's go ahead and unpause. And I also want to take a look down over here at our otters. Oh, look at the little booty wiggles. Damn it. I wish I'd zoomed in a bit faster there. That was adorable. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and keep this clear. Because I want to see the... Yeah, there we go. The cooler's at work. I also, though, want to see... It was mentioned in the comments of the previous session. Yeah, I don't know. That as long as this is 4 meters deep and 4 meters wide, they'll be able to swim under and get through, but... Doesn't seem to... Yeah, it doesn't seem to be the case. Doesn't seem to be the case. Unless I'm off about how deep 4 meters is, but they can obviously deep dive in here. Like, maybe this isn't 4 meters. I could always go terrain, terrain stamp tool. Go ahead and set you to 4 by 4. Right, like... if it fits, which it does, means that we should be good. I mean, I could try making it even bigger. Go ahead and get rid of the water here. Go ahead and push this back a bit more, push this down a bit more. Like, that's gotta be enough, right? And I can't help myself, I gotta... There we go. Much better. Put the water in here. Ooh. Oh, okay, it looked like we could go higher. Water right up to there as well, yep. Take a quick peek over here. The penguins are arriving, so I want to switch gears basically right away. Yeah, looks to not be working. Maybe it's just something I'm missing out on, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and focus on our new addition today. Oh my god. Look at the way they waddle. Look at that. Just so cute. Hey, buddy. Whoa! Oh, yes! Buddy knows how to live. This guy knows how to live. Slide around. Yeah, that's right. Chill. What are you staring at? Just kind of like looking up over there, contemplating life, thinking about all the decisions that brought him to this stage in life. Oh, they're so cute. What are you doing, man? I mean, I know they do this from time to time, but not, like, are you injured or... No? I imagine the space is minimal. Okay, so I think they can't hop down, eh? Okay. They can get up here, though. Go ahead and fix that problem. That should do the trick there. Good stuff. Their voices are interesting. I want to go ahead and... I mean, this is a classic classic issue, obviously. I was hoping they'd be able to cross this bridge and make their way to the central area. I mean, obviously I don't mind if they swim to it either. But right now they're not able to get pretty much anywhere. Oh. Oh, that's annoying. Right, of course. It sees this as an escape route. Because the barrier goes in. Well, okay, we'll look at that in a moment. You're able to get down to here, but you're not able to dive in from there. Okay, I see. Look at that slide over there. Not able to get down over here. Not able to get in over here. What happens if I get rid of this rock? Because it might be a matter of the collision. There we go. Beautiful. Now you're stuck here. Okay. What if I get rid of this one? Should be good. Arrived at the escape a little too late, buddy. Looks like we gotta lower these guys. We're getting there, though. Pretty close, pretty close. Closer than the otter one, for sure. Still not perfect. Still can't get into the water, eh? That's a surprise. I'm trying to figure out how I want to sort this. There's a couple ways to do it. Alright, you know, let's do it before we got an animal escape. Before we got an animal escape. Let's see. So this comes down over here. I really wish this move was prioritized. It was higher up. Can I? Wonder if do this. And go the other way as well. Like, I don't think they can come. Yeah, they can't come this far out. Do that. And stop this from being counted as the barrier. There we go. Or the perimeter, I should say. Yeah, we're good. Hopefully. Really? Yuck. Of course. Not a problem, not a problem. An easy fix. Just gotta go in here. That's an easy fix, I said. Just gotta go in here. There we go. Move this further back. Move you further back as well. That should do the trick. I like that this updates while paused, because for the longest time it didn't used to. I like that it updates while paused. At least for the barrier escape routes. Over you a bit more. This really... Oh, you know what? Maybe it's this rock that's blocking movement there. This guy's just staring at the wall. You're able to get further. Good stuff, good stuff. Lower all of these. All these. Let's take a look again. Alright, good. I mean, I don't mind the zigzagging, actually. That's kind of cute. But I do mind the fact that they're not able to get into the water, obviously. I want to make sure that happens. Have we had gray seal offspring? No otter offspring yet, eh? Not yet. Soon, hopefully soon. There we go. That's gotta work, right? That should do the trick. Yeah, for some reason I was under the impression all these animals were a lot more capable of hopping, but hey, you live and you learn, as I like to say. I have certainly learned. Come on now. There we go, there we go. And they can get into the water over here. Cool, excellent. Excellent, excellent. Somebody knocked this rubber ducky over. Or I guess the water just kind of did the job. So I want to test a couple of things. I mean, for one, obviously, I want to check to make sure that these guys are able to navigate the waters. I want to see how they move around the waters. I want to make sure the water temperature is also acceptable to them. Should be fine, right? Oh, there's the ambient. Okay, cool. Should be fine. We can pop it down to 10. Nice and chilly, right? It should be good. What's the deal over here? Why are these guys upset? What did I break? How did I break that? What did I do here? Go. Water back. That should do the trick. Base is still not good enough, really? What is... Can I pull this out without having to get rid of the water? I cannot. There we go. That should do the trick. Yeah, there we go. Alright, cool. That'll help. Serious injury discovered. I think the penguins... yeah, it's weird. Every animal has arrived diseased or injured. I guess it's because I haven't been sending them to the, like, to quarantine before getting them in, I suppose. Alright, guys. Enjoying your popularity? Hazel? Queen Penguin? They're so beautiful. The detail as well. Just like the tiny fuzzy... I'm really curious. Like, they get the fuzz factor just right. I've often commented on, like, how it looks when they're, like, backlit and stuff. So cute. Oh, you know what I didn't check? I didn't check. Oh, they're able to climb up to here. They can't get onto the throne itself. No surprise there, I suppose. I could try and, like... I don't know if this is wide enough. And in fact, it's probably just going to block access. I think I'm getting a little too ambitious with that throne. Yeah. You know what? It's fine. They can get up to there. That's better than I was actually expecting. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Just staring at the wall. These guys just staring at the wall. Fair enough. Any swimmers yet? Any swimmers yet? Nothing yet. I mean, this has got to be a pretty cool experience when they come swimming down over here, right? I wonder if I need to... Well, obviously, right, the water prevents the snow from forming. That makes sense. That makes sense. In fact, this shouldn't be this. That should instead be a taiga rock. Let's get one of these in here. Makes a lot of sense that there wouldn't be snow underwater. There we go. Especially water that's at, what, 10 degrees? There we go. I could call the keeper here. See if that rushes the fish delivery. I mean, it seems to have. I don't know if it actually does, but it seems to work. Now, these guys, are they okay? Is there anything that we're missing here? The social group is a little small. Plenty of space. Plenty of everything. Good stuff. Good stuff. Overcompensated a little bit from last time. Could use some more. What is this? No bond has been formed with a mate yet? What is this? Is new. Hang on a second. Otters don't have that, do they? Oh, what? They do! Yo, that's awesome! Because normally, like, we used to have, like, oh, they've got a mate. They don't have a mate. That's been a thing. But bonding status being a progression, I don't recall that. You guys... Oh, do they, like... I want to know if they do a mating dance. I'm very curious about, like, okay, do they do a mating dance? Do they do, does every birth result in a new, bond, right? Because it's supposed to be every, it's supposed to be every cycle, right? Sorry, I meant to go to animal trading here. Animal market. Go ahead and pick some more up, considering we can have so many. Over to our zoo animals. No, animal trading, animal storage. Get you all picked like this. Easiest way to do it. Pop you in over here. Excellent. Good stuff. Because again, the more than we have, the more likely they are to mate. The more likely we're to see various activities, various types of behavior. I'm thinking we put make the water a bit more accessible from here as well. Just because. I don't know if they're planning on swimming, or they're planning on walking too far to swim, because they don't need to. They've got more than enough land, so they're probably just like, well, I don't have to go there, so I'm not going to. I would imagine they want to. Where did I put their feeding tray? I guess I didn't put one down. I guess we're relying on this to feed them, which is... Let's see if that works, right? Yes! Yes, we're gonna have a baby otter! We're gonna have a baby otter. Offspring imminent. Look at those injuries. Pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly. They've been fighting a lot because I didn't have a lot of space. Where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? Keep an eye on you. Just like came out of the box like this. I'm so pleased. Look at that. Look at the little detail there. Look at that. Look at the little foot. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. Oh, and look at the water. I'm so happy right now. This is amazing. I am so pleased right now. They have done such a good job in bringing these adorable little things to life. Look at the way they like tilt their heads back and everything. Oh, they're so good. And they're zigzagging, obviously, because of the terrain. Okay, we have a baby otter, but I'm a little distracted here. We'll check the baby otter out. Don't worry. We'll check him out. But I don't want to miss these guys diving in. Look at that. Look at that. That's so good. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, they're all coming down over here. I guess now that there's more of them. Look at Buddy back there dropping into the water. Oh, you're gonna... Okay. Gonna dive in. There we go. The laziest flop ever. Yes. So pleased. So the fact that they can go down here tells me that they would have been able to. Like, this could be two separate tracts of land, and they'd be able to go underneath. So it kind of answers the question that we were trying to answer with the otters. Okay, let's, very quickly, we'll step away. Whoops, we'll step away and check out our baby giant otter. Oh, buddy. Having a good swim over here. Oh, you're so cute. Now, oh, you know what? Can you get to the other side? You can't. I do wonder if this is like blocking it, maybe. So many more trees here than I had initially planned for. So small. But even then, so big. Like, these guys are massive. It's in the name, obviously. There we go. So much wobbling going on right now. Oh yeah, go buddy, go. Yeah, up those stairs. Oh, so cute. By the way, I saw a comment from last session about me like yelling at the... Whoa, that's a jump. Yelling at the animals to do a thing. I'm not yelling at the animals, I'm egging them on. You know, you gotta... Sometimes you gotta cheer an animal on to tell them you're on their side and you want to see them do something. When you're trying to like train them or something or stuff like that. I don't ever mean to come across as yelling at the animals. So cute. Oh, yes. I wanted to see that animation last session so bad. So pleased. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Oh, no one's looking this way. Buddy just wants attention. Do a flip. They have some pretty fun, like, playful animations. Just gonna stick with Buddy here until he gets out of the water, and then we'll go back to the penguins. I know it's the penguin focus episode. Don't worry, we will definitely be going back. And oh, there we go. Good stuff. Giant otter. He's not so giant. All right, these guys. Look at that. I wonder if they spend more of their time, like, I wonder how they distribute their time spent. But he's just kind of floating here. I'm glad we caught that deep dive. That was pretty epic. That was pretty cool. Just deep dive going on to the other side. That was super cool. But I want to see, oh, actually, you know, I was meaning to check. Yep, they are able to climb on top of all of these. Excellent. I wasn't sure if they needed to have a base. And it looks like it is, you know, accessible, usable. But I wonder if they'll be lying down in other spots as well. Very cool. Very, very cool. And I do want to see them feeding as well. Oh, what are the chances? Spoke about it. Here they are. Who has low welfare? Back over here, eh? Why do we have low welfare? What's wrong, buddy? Stressed out? Stressed primarily. It's going back up, which is why I'm moving away. This is great. I'm so thoroughly excited for these guys, and to like implement them into our franchise zoos and stuff. Not only for the entertainment factor, but just because the enclosures can be pretty compelling. Are you just gonna walk into the water? Plop. Iceberg, got ahead. There we go. Just waddling. I've always loved the sheer adorableness of penguins. So nice. So nicely executed as well. Alright, let's see if we can't catch any more underwater shenanigans. We want to catch them grabbing food. They should... this is another thing to kind of like test, is like, are they able to get down here? I would like to have seen the underwater navigability get highlighted as well. There we go. Good stuff. I was wondering if they're going to be jumping over the terrain. I'll try and modify this a bit so they're more likely to. Get rid of you. Narrow you down. We'll see, we'll see. This is great. This has worked out very nicely. I do want to see if we can't catch them playing with some of their toys and whatnot as well, obviously. Catching a nap somewhere. This is all their hard shelter. I'm sure this does the trick for them. Yeah, they're good. More than good. Terrain, actually, they're a little upset about the lack of soil and sand. Yeah, you learn something new every day. You learn something new every day. Let's go ahead and adjust that then. Alright, paint. Soil. Along the edge over here, maybe. Makes sense. Like, this area would be trampled as per our quote-unquote story, I suppose. So, yeah, that kind of works. Shrink the size a little bit. There we go. Ooh. Mating penguins. Whoa, excuse me. Oh, they're bowing. They're bowing. That's what's happening. They're bowing. I assume it's not just a strange coincidence. Look at that guy on the far right there, just kind of... You good? Yep, offspring due. Feb of year 7. Alright, very soon we're gonna have some babies. Baby penguins, can't wait. Oh man, I can't wait. I'm losing my mind over the full-grown adult penguins. I cannot wait until the baby penguins. Cannot wait. Okay, hold on. Any action down over here? This thing, is this not... Eater ready? These guys aren't hungry or anything, so they must have been eating, right? I don't think I've seen a hungry notification. Yeah, no, they're all fine. They're all fine. Okay. And pretty soon we're going to have that baby. It's going to be in just a couple months' time, so that's good. But right, we were adjusting the terrain. Get back to it. A bit more soil still. Might need to make it a bit bigger and a bit more intense. There we go. There we go. Oh, good stuff. Could add a bit more here, just along the edges. 8%. How much do you need? A bit larger here. There we go. And sand. That's, yeah. I mean, makes sense, but also surprising to a degree. Okay, okay. Snow they can have, you know, as much as we want to give them, but... And on the outside over here, that's the other thing as well, is like this is obviously breaking the ratio up a little bit, because their enclosure, as far as they're concerned, does go out a little bit. There we go. Maximum joy. It's already January, great. Also, using the roughen feature to make the terrain kind of go up and down has been quite nice. I don't know, it's been working better lately. I don't know if anything's changed or if it's just like a placebo effect, but it feels like it's been working better lately. This is a bit of a bummer. This is also a bit of a bummer. Can't. I wish sandbox mode just got rid of litter. It should just be a checkbox. Horrible people, yes, no. There, here. No more littering. No more littering. Where's my baby? It's February. Where's my baby at? And I wonder if the... Can you imagine if the baby can get up on top of the throne? Oh, I'd be... Yes, please. Yes, please. Where is... Whoops. Hazel. Or? Year 7, February. Yep. I wonder also if there's any way to test an animal talk here. We could try... let's see, actually. They are able to... Yeah, this is pretty cool that they're able to get all the way up to here. I doubt it'll work, but it's worth a shot. Animal... Talk point. Uneven placement. Pop you down over here. And I assign you to the King Penguin. Water obstructs food throw. Okay. What if I move you to here? Okay, yeah, so they can throw food over this. Obviously, we've seen some pretty high throws. So that's good. Talk month. Sure, March, why not? Where's my baby? I should probably hire another educator while we're waiting here. There you go. Alright, where's my baby? Hungry, thirsty. Well, if you're hungry, you're hungry. You're not hungry. Hopefully they're going down here for food. I don't see fish being shot up. Quantity 0. I don't know. Keeper en route, it says. Okay. Maybe I just need some more keepers as well. Probably not a bad idea. It is sandbox mode after all. We don't need to worry about our finances or anything like that. Every time I go for... Come on. That down. Out comes the baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that cutie. So round. No, you can't go swimming right away, can you? I was wondering if they would have some of the more complicated behaviors and animations and whatnot. Like the koala birth animation. Oh, the squat head. Yeah, I was wondering if there would be any of that stuff. It's pretty cool to see, like, water accessibility at different ages be modeled. Like, that's pretty neat, I would say. Definitely an interesting consideration. I do wonder if it's been... That was amazing. I wonder if it's been added retroactively as well to, like, the crocodiles and stuff. I don't know if they have any age limitations like that. Yeah, I wouldn't have minded. This is like... It's a giant baby. That is a giant baby. I was hoping they'd start a little bit smaller. Like, you know, yay high. Still cute, don't get me wrong. Alright, let's keep our eyes down over here. There's the fish. Alright, wonderful. What's the view like from over here? Yeah. Yes, come on. There we go. There we go. This is a pretty good spot. Oh, there comes another one. Nice. And you can actually see them take the fish. That's pretty cool. You see, like, the mesh disappear and whatnot. Or the particle, I suppose, maybe. I don't know if these are meshes or particles. They look like little sprites. I imagine they're little particles. They're being shot up from over here as little sprites. But that's pretty cool. Pretty simple, like, not too overcomplicated or anything like that. What is this? What is this court? You guys plotting against your king? Come on, what's going on over here? Yeah, you've been spotted. Get. Can never trust your vassals. I've also not seen this get any, like, real love, I would say. Like, they climb on top of it, but, like, what's so special about that, you know? I imagine they use the hole there to hop in. Oh, you see that? That was beautiful. Alright, I guess that's part of it. That was a silky smooth dive there. Glad we caught it. Glad we caught it. That was beautiful, though. That was very graceful. Oh, where you headed, buddy? Back here. Very graceful. Are you gonna climb up top over here? Oh, there we go. There we go. So glad I caught that. So glad I caught that. Literally just talking about it. Sometimes you just gotta jinx a thing, I guess. Or not jinx it, but request it into existence. And graceful dive in. There we go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, I don't think the babies are... Oh my god, they're asleep. That does not look very comfortable. That's... Gonna wake up with a huge pain in the neck. That's great, though. Alright, cool. This guy's sliding down again. I can't. I am not done looking at these penguins just waddling around. Yeah, see, less graceful, not off the platforms there. Alright, very cool, very cool. I imagine... Yeah, I imagine this is also the same. I imagine this has kind of a unique animation set where they dive down smoothly. Rather than just walk off a cliff there. Good stuff. Oops. Good stuff. Now, I did want to check. Where's our baby? Where's our little guy? Where you at, buddy? There you are. Alright, now can you... Nah. Wishful thinking, wishful thinking. That, I mean, like, how would they get up there? It's a matter of not being able to reach. They can definitely fit up there. Like, you can see how little space they take. They can fit up there, but they can't get up there is the problem. And I could build, like, stairs. Do this kind of a thing. Maybe they'll get up there. I doubt it, though. Collision boxes are probably gonna get in the way. Yeah, that just makes it worse. Alright. Go away. Good stuff. I mean... Look at that, swimming in formation. Just as I was about to say, I was like, yeah, you know, I think that's pretty much all there is to see. So good. Very cool, very cool. What are you guys gonna do? Dive at the same time? No. These guys are up to something. Pretending to be innocent over here. These guys are up to something. Anyway, folks, I think that is... I just don't know what they're doing. I guess that's how they maintain their balance. I guess that's how they maintain their balance, because they waddle about so swiftly. They're so cool. They're really well animated. I'm thoroughly enjoying the way they move. Their different, like, movement animations. Their different methods of propagation. I love it when they belly flop and just kind of slide around. Especially that you can see the hind leg kind of just, like, pushing. That's pretty cool. Now, I guess the baby has to be fed like this, yeah. Because the baby can't get into the water. Yeah. Awesome. Lovely little details. Stuff to pay attention to when getting stuff together. These guys are fantastic. Honestly. Like, that's cute. That's just... I'm so pleased. Look at this. Look at that. This is fantastic. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this session. This is what we're going to call it, though. If you've been enjoying, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below if you have a particular animal you would like to see next time. If you have any particular ideas you would like to see me try and execute, if you have any questions about functionality with this DLC and all of its various options and sort of opportunities and things like that, then go ahead and, like I always say, you know, leave a comment down below. I will be reading them all. I always read them all, even though I haven't been, like, replying to them as I typically tend to with my franchise mode Let's Play episodes. I am still reading them all. I am still taking them all into account and sort of, you know, acting accordingly. It's been fun so far exploring the animals like this, just being able to spend time with each of the animals individually. Oh, this guy's like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme from Inception with those squinty eyes. But yeah, it's been fun, exploring all the animals, exploring all the features like this. This is definitely my preferred method of looking at the DLC, time consuming as it might be in terms of spreading it out over multiple sessions and whatnot. It does seem to be the case that many of you are enjoying this as well and preferring this approach. But again, continue to provide me feedback if that is the case or not. But as I was saying, folks, this is what we're going to call it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving that like and comment, like I said, down below. And of course, if you are not yet a subscriber, don't hesitate to subscribe if you're interested in seeing more Planet Zoo action and just games like this in general. Simulation, management, that and strategy gaming is the core of this channel. So if you aren't already a subscriber, you might want to subscribe if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But folks, at this point in time, I must bid you farewell. Like I said, we will be continuing this. We will be exploring the remaining animals as well. If you have any one in particular you would like to see next, do not hesitate to let me know down below. But before I can sign off, of course, I want to give a massive thanks to all of the channel members and patrons who have been supporting this channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.